So, and I'm equal but not the Okay, today we'll be covering most trending kind of makeup that's going on right now. It's becoming a little more minimalistic, less elaborate, but obviously steps aren't skipped. I'm just going to go over something which will probably like get done in like 10-15 minutes max. It's not any kind of professional. So that kind of makeup, you should definitely look up those makeup artists. They're grand. I'm just doing something which we can step out in this like sweltering heat where your face is melting off. India's summer is not kind on anybody. Yeah, let's get started. Basic, I've already applied like some kind of a moisturizer. So I'm going to start off with the primer. This is travel friendly kind of primer. Like not apply too much product on your face so it doesn't layer up as much. Apply to areas which more or less would be covered with product, and regions where you're not really doing a lot of work, you could skip it out. The skin is more or less oily. A mattifying one works so much better. Apply the primer to head over to concealer. I have only a couple of concealers and they're usually NARS. Those I have tested out, applying just the pigmented areas. More control and the blending power just better with my hand. Purpose of letting your skin kind of air out right now is again like it needs to oxidize a bit so the colors would change. It probably get darker or probably get yellower or grayer. Proceeding with doing my eyebrows. Obsessed with Mars eyebrow pencil. The color is so good. It's like to me it's like a brown gray. It in regions where I feel like the growth is lighter. A little more definition. We're never happy with the shape of our natural brows. When the fine hair start growing out, not in this region, it starts sticking out from these random spots. I have now just accepted willfully my fate. Now I've got my brows done. Move on to the foundation. It's like a little thicker brush is useful. This is the product. Cover areas very lightly, naturally blended. I'm going over the areas where I'll be applying a lot of product. Let it air out for a bit. Its oxidizing will help settle the colors because the oils of your skin match the colors, the pH levels kind of like balance it out. So color it has to finally sit in your skin. That final color is what we're waiting for. So that now we'll be proceeding with eyeshadow. Since the dual stick eyeshadow, it has like two fun colors, both like ultra light. Start off with the darker color, then you can apply the lighter one. Start off around that region. So like even if it's closed, you kind of get an idea like where it has to color so that when you open your eyes also it's visible. Showing you that I'm applying the product. Brush which I use for, but it also kind of has like some kind of pointy bit so it kind of inserts its place. Your aim should be to like stay within the eye region and not let it start like covering all of this like space around. It's okay if it starts brushing out a bit. It's only because I've watched enough videos for my eye shape wherever I can find. It has this like shadowy effect. You will do an ombre of the lighter inside your eye in this region and the darker ones stay at the outer region. Yeah, that's the lighter color. And I just put in the center and go a little above. The reason I used to love these sticks, and I think I have about 2-3 of them, is that it's so easy to apply just using another brush. Similar but smaller. So this you're only doing for the blending region. Yeah, as of now, you can see how this has been worked. I'm looking down, so you can see when I look up, it'll be like barely visible, and but the eyeshadow hovering over it has created a little depth. So the lighter color comes here and going in at the corner of your eye. Go a little ahead. There is a little bit of sheen. It just kind of illuminates this area. Focus is being pulled towards a little further away from your eye, even to any kind of eyeshadow work you do. Lighter one or the more metallic one you can do towards the inner corners in the center region. Now we'll do my lashes. Okay, so just get a good lash curler. This one the only trick is that I just do it in the hopes of like how much ever it stays. So I lift it so that when I'm applying it, I know where my eyeliner has to set and how lifted it is. So how much eyeliner I have to put. I'm using a very standard effective kajal. So now what I do is like very marginally just going along the lines of my lid. It doesn't matter if it's neat or not because it's only to create a little bit of a smudge. And here I just create that like a brush which will do its bit. Very fine smudging action. Kajal like this is a more smoky, more natural, less prominent kind of application. Just make sure that it's on the pointed, yeah, like this, and not like this. Back to the light color, right at the center. So this portion kind of just immediately makes your eye look bigger. You see with mine, even though I have like, oh, this is like my standard eyes. But now we will go ahead with the mascara. I'm using the Rare Beauty's black mascara. She's come out with a brown one. I don't know if it's come out in India yet, but like popular trick of like I'm using the spoolie and kind of like going against the lashes like this instead of like this. As it collects a little more products, when you are stroking it out, it kind of like evenly starts brushing it outwards. Because my lashes are downward facing, I have to lift it up. So while I'm looking down, and then just collecting the product right now. If you want to do it in the center, you can. So now what happens is whatever product it's got, I lift it out. You can see, but it's kind of like wispy, closer to natural, unlike other products I usually use like Fenty or Benefit. And this one's more like bushy, but in a wispy sense. So I don't want too much eye work and too much of product visible, like I've really done such a big job and heavy-handed work on my skin, because I know the moment I'm going to step out, it's going to be sweltering hot, my face will melt off. All of this will probably just disappear in my glistening skin and sweat, shadow, and eye work so far. So hopefully, next is the blush. Yeah, this is the brush. This one has this shape, if you can see, it's kind of like, so when I'm applying, it'll be concentrated, it's easier, so I'm not really using it like this. I've found this blush, which wasn't free, but it was like, you have to test it out kind of a product, so I ordered it. Is warmer. This one's more warmer, it's more sandy. I'm gonna try it. So what I do is I tap it here. Whenever I'm like getting red on my face or pink in my face, it's usually in this region. Trends say that you want a lifted look, you should just keep it here, like keep your blush here and your contour below that and your bronzer in this region and highlighter here, and they don't apply the blush in this spot. I don't know if you remember a couple of years back or even up to last year, the whole trend was to like use your blush here and go through up across your nose up to here to have this like very, you know, cute little like smitten look. But having said that, I feel like if you naturally get your color here, we will still do this because I still want a lifted look, like less chubby cheeks. I'll be okay with it, keeping it like snatched and elevated, but I will start with this spot and just show. I obviously smile. To me, I still love the cute little like red cheeks, and since we are doing a video on how trends work, that's what I have to show you. Alright, so the blush is done. We have to go ahead with the lips. I'm using NARS, as I've mentioned previously. With Indian skin tones, it's the perfect variety. This one's lower, so I tend to overline this, but it looks weird because sometimes I don't get to overline that. More stronger shade, I avoid overly overlining. I just do it so that there is definition. Usually when there is a lighter, more nude color, I'm comfortable overlining that region way more. Please ignore how unneat it looks. I'm about to blend them. They will look normal. I have used it in so many videos, so I feel like I can't keep repeating the same colors. So I'm going to do the red or brown version. And it's like a nude only, but I'm using the Rare Beauty's, it's like weirdly orangey concealer like. Here comes the other trend. Lighter central region with a darker liner. You can blend it if you want, or you can let it have a little bit of stronger outline. Product moussey, so we'll do a natural blend, and here it is. We have got browns, pinks, and orangey nudes. The combo I want to do, just so that we have some variety. I do have the gloss. Now, a lot of people love like the heavily glossed lip, and I feel like with lighter colors one can still try. Lip oil is better, but with darker colors, I don't know why, at least for me, it just feels like I can't heavily gloss it up. Like I'll put a little shine, like I want anyway, like a very, very honey texture. You'll see that it's so potent in its gloss, barely dab it. So you can see that I just barely put it, and lips do the rest. Like it's so honey, like that's another fun part. And I don't need to gloss the remaining areas. Actually, where the light hits it, you will spot the gloss illuminating my lips. I will wear earrings. A setting spray makes sense for people who have generally a drier skin in the summers. I'm not saying this is the rule. I'm not, because I have a oily skin base, or I have a combination skin base, so I don't oil up, but I sweat profusely. Any kind of like sweat would anyway determine the glossiness and the shine to my skin anyway. When I do apply a setting spray, it would get very dewy. That's not a look I'm really going for. I'll have the natural sweat glazing my skin anyway shortly. If you still have your eyeshadow, or if you want to use a highlighter, you could, but I'm going to use the eyeshadow to show you that slight bit shine while I was applying previous eyeshadow, and I thought I should brush it off, but I figured like I should show you how to remedy it, because I feel like I got overconfident thinking it'll match the blush color, but it didn't. I have another eyeshadow stick, which again has a similar metallic shade. This one's way, yeah, so this is the one which I'm used to, and this one has this more. It'll automatically get sorted, like the color underneath, it'll get hidden. Okay, so I can do a little bit here as well. You see what that impact has? Like that's what I was talking about previously. So I'm going to take the blush brush again. That's as much as I can do to repair my blunder. The highlighter bit I dim down as much as possible, because it's going to be glistening very heavily the moment I step out. Whatever product is left on the brush, you can apply to your nose, because this has like a little bit of the blush as well and a little bit of the highlighter as well. Adds that shiny tip. I will proceed with the final touches next. Smoky eye is that if you take the same color you'd use here and you can put it underneath. Slight smoky effect, blend it out. For anyone who feels like tight lining their eyes, the waterline with the kajal, I'll just show you how it is, okay, how it looks. The moment I avoid doing the top because I've already applied mascara. So do you see the difference? Like you can tell that how much more prominent an outline in your eye makes, and how much without it subtle it looks, but it still pops as much. So that's it. This is pretty much all there is to the look we were going for today. I will just open my hair out to. So here, this is the final look. Thanks to all the frizz and the dryness in the air, my hair cannot naturally enjoy the weather anymore, unless it looks tamed and presentable only when it's blow dried. This is how it is, if you can see. Not able to see here, but like if you do step out, you'll notice that like the highlighter has a little bit of like very nominal shine and glitter as well, so it does shimmer a bit. This is it. This is whatever trends have spoiled, and this is what your look is. But as I said, please try whatever suits you, what you like, what you're comfortable with. And of course, you should experiment with whatever is out there. So it's not necessary to follow what the trends are saying, but it's just this is what it is right now. So do whatever suits you. In this format, I get to try on stuff myself as well. So I get to learn about my face and what looks good, what doesn't look good, what mistakes to make and what not to make. This is the space which I've created so that one can try these things, give it a go. I hope you had a good time enjoying this process, and we'll catch you soon on the other side.